Tong Ying-kit became the first person to be found guilty of violating Hong Kong's national security law when the High Court ruled on Tuesday that he was guilty of terrorism and incitement to secession. Tong, 24, drove a motorcycle into a group of police on July 1, 2020, while flying a flag that bore a popular anti-government protest slogan. It was the first day that a sweeping national security law imposed by Beijing had come into force in Hong Kong, which coincided with the 23rd anniversary of the city's handover from British to Chinese rule. A three-judge panel said Tong knew the flag's slogan, "Liberate Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Times," carries the meaning of Hong Kong independence, and by displaying the flag on his motorcycle, he intended to communicate the secessionist meaning of the slogan to others. The judges, who are appointed by Hong Kong's government to try national security cases, added that Tong's failure to stop in front of the police cordon lines was a deliberate challenge mounted against the police. The conviction could lead to a punishment of life imprisonment for the former restaurant worker, with the court adjourning the sentencing procedure to a later date. The court heard that three officers whom Tong rammed with the motorcycle had suffered injuries, and he subsequently pleaded not guilty to charges of inciting secession, terrorism, and an alternative charge of dangerous driving. Over 100 journalists and citizens filled the courtroom for the landmark verdict, where Tong appeared to be calm hearing his fate in the dock. During the trial that lasted for 15 days, lawyers from the prosecution and defense debated at great length whether the slogan was indeed an incitement to secession in the social context. Tong's case was heard without a jury, deviating from the norm of the common law system for serious crimes in Hong Kong and in spite of the defense's request. As the first person charged and now convicted under the controversial national security law, Tong's verdict sets a precedent on how local courts may deal with the other 60-odd defendants accused of violating the same law. The number of people facing prosecution under the security law will almost certainly climb even higher, as the police have already arrested over 130 people since the law was enacted just over a year ago, including many opposition lawmakers and media tycoon Jimmy Lai. The controversial security law, which has been widely criticized by foreign governments and rights groups, was used last week to lay charges on two women for publishing a children's book deemed by the authorities to be seditious. National security officers claimed that's related to the tale of sheep defending their village from invading wolves. The sheep in the story mirrored the activities of Hong Kong's protesters, so the police concluded that the books were inciting hatred towards the administration and the judiciary.